Hi guys, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery, and I'm located in Van.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Highland Heights, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
Hey, everybody, quick heads up before we get started with today's episode. We just launched a Wheel Talk email list. If you want to help us shape future episodes, submit listener questions, and get entered in to win one of our upcoming book giveaways, you can sign up using the link in the show notes below. We will announce the winner of the first book in mid-January. So that first book is going to be Amazing Glaze Food Safe Recipes. That is from Bill Collins and Gabriel Klein. We just interviewed them back on episode 318 of the podcast. Very recently, we bought an extra copy and we want to give it away to you. So if you get signed up before mid-January, you can get a chance to win. And we're looking forward to doing more book giveaways and ask for more of your feedback as we get into the email list. It's taken us a while to do this, and I feel like it's a good goal for 2026. So thank you for signing up. Thank you for listening along. And let's get into today's episode. Thanks. All right. Hello. We are live for the last time in 2025, as of the
You should have
recording, at
paused
least.
that here for the last time in
In
2020.
2025.
Uh, Hi,
Hello.
how you doing?
Happy Merry Christmas, New Year.
Yeah, tomorrow's New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm. Almost done with the year.
Almost.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yep.
You're looking forward to some. You got a few. Do you get the way the days fall? You haven't had that long of weekends with the holidays, but I am actually taking the rest of the week off. But uh, you've been kind of like
Yeah,
taking days here and there when they give them to you for the most part, right?
yeah. I mean, like, I feel as though your job is better for days off than mine. But yeah, so we get Thursday off, but not Friday. So again.
Mm.
So, but we do get pancakes tomorrow. So,
New Year's Eve pancakes.
New Year's Eve pancakes. And I shit you not, the HR guy who's also our party planner is bringing his camping griddles
Oh, he's doing them. You're
and
not like
he's
ordering
making
them from somewhere.
pancakes. Yep, and
Okay.
I guess sausage. I don't know, maybe eggs. I don't think eggs, um but I was
Mm-hmm.
like he was talking and okay, you haven't met my dad so you can't like reference this, but his name is Chris and he's like the happiest man you've ever met in your life. Um I would happily buy any car from him. He'd be the best salesman ever. And like he could make someone's death sound pleasant. Uh he so the way he talks is like this. He goes, "Oh, so do you think you could do that?" So
As like
that's how he talks,
recommending you
right?
do something.
Yeah, or like, okay, I'll go in there and I'll be like, "Hey Chris, oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. My door broke, right? A couple weeks ago, or the window broke." And he comes up and he goes, "I just saw that your door broke. Are you gonna are you gonna fix that?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go get a door." "Oh, that's great." And then the next day he comes in and he goes, "I saw that you fixed your door." He's like the happiest camping dad of all time, okay? And he loves camping. And and he has like a daughter. We did like our pottery painting thing, and he was all about it, right?
Yeah.
And so, and he asked like a bajillion questions. And so anyway, that's the man you're looking at, okay? Like not super tall, not super skinny, but not fat. Full tighter jeans, but like the acid wash tighter jeans, like like what you would see a dad wear. And um and just like the nicest man you'd ever met. Like so nice that I thought he was really weird when I got hired. And uh and I was like, give a man a griddle. Just give him a griddle.
He
You
probably
know?
wanted this. He probably waits for this the whole
You
year.
kidding me? He has been waiting. He was telling somebody how he's going to Sam's Club to get all the stuff. He has been waiting for this.
Oh, hell
You
yeah.
should have seen him when we had our pumpkin carving contest. He was stoked.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. This is like he was made to plan events, honestly.
Yeah. Well, you said he's in HR too. It kind of feels like that's like a good HR kind of
Yeah,
perspective on you don't want like a shitty HR person that's not the person you want to be going to when something is wrong.
right.
That's
Yeah,
gonna like not make you want to tell them anything because they're just gonna shit on you or whatever.
right. Yeah, they'll shit on you. The opposite is if they're way, way too nice, they don't do anything about it. So there's that. But
Yeah.
no, he's good. He's good. He has a good dual role, even though his secondary role is not uh recognized formally.
Yeah. Party planner. Party
Already.
planning committee.
Yeah, 100%. So,
Okay, so you're getting pancakes tomorrow. That sounds good.
yep, we're getting pancakes tomorrow and um
Quick question about the pancake idea. Are you a which one between the three? Pancake, waffle, French toast? If you had to pick one.
if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick French toast.
Oh, yes, same.
Um,
Love French toast.
but if I need a meal on the go, I'm going pancakes.
Hmm.
Okay, actually, if there's sausage or bacon involved, I'm going pancakes. And the reason being is because I like to butter my pancakes and then make a pancake sausage taco and eat it like that.
Just the pancake and the meat, or do you
Yeah.
put some? Because I'm guessing there's no. Do you put syrup in there?
I'm not a big syrup fan. I will put syrup on a pancake, but it's not my favorite thing. I could go without easily.
Okay. We brought back some coconut syrup from Hawaii, and we have yet to
Oh, I
use it.
bet Rachel loves that.
We haven't used it yet because we don't really make pancakes that often. It- we have like a bubble waffle maker. Rachel's more of a waffle fan, but we don't generally make that stuff. More of a bacon and eggs kind of breakfast couple over here. So,
I'm more of yeah, and I'm more of a breakfast burrito couple, so a
mm,
singular.
okay.
Like I would rather have a tortilla than a pancake any day of the week.
Yeah. I'm French toast all the way. The other stuff feels a little heavy for me, the waffle and the pancake. Even though French toast is kind of still heavy, but it's more of a treat. It's not a very often breakfast item. Okay, sweet. So that's the rest of your week, it looks like. Anything else exciting happened the last few days that the listeners may be interested in?
Well, no.
Okay.
Um, but I'll probably talk about this when we talk, but I did decide to um I did decide to talk to HR actually about um even though my depression has been better, I thought it was like good, and then last night I had like a really bad episode of just excessive crying. Um, and so I talked to him if there was like a way to like get a doctor's note to maybe take like a week off a quarter to like reset, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited about that development. We'll see.
Yeah, that's probably like a not a common request. So
He actually
I'm
said it was a little bit more common than you'd think. Um,
really.
yeah, which I also thought it would not be a common request because I did go in there like 3 months ago and ask, um, and ask if I could take like a week off, but I didn't mention why. Like
But
I was
it's not, is it, it would be paid time off that you would request, or it would be unpaid time off?
unpaid time off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you're not getting paid, maybe they have more
But
flexibility
it
on that.
has to
But
go through. I wonder if there's some sort of like special circumstance as far as like business is concerned. Because it has to go through like the FMLA, the
Family Medical Leave Act.
yeah, that. So I wonder if like that way it can't count against you.
Oh, but oh, like you can keep your job, but
Right.
you still don't get pay though.
You still don't get paid, but you can keep your job. And I wonder if maybe like the business gets like a kickback on the
Hmm.
benefits that's being paid during that week. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, maybe it's comparable to like a short-term disability or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, that's happening. Um, oh, Christmas was good. It was not eventful. See, I didn't even remember that Christmas happened.
Yeah, actually, for yeah, we're about a week away from that. But I was like, when did we talk last? It was probably before Christmas, but yeah, ours was not super eventful either. So
I will say that my mom bought me the Heritage Tupperware collection from Costco in the orange because I asked her to, like 4 months ago. I was like, this would be a good Christmas present. And if anybody was wondering, which I know you are, all of the Heritage collection pieces have the old Tupperware logo except for one bowl, and that's the biggest bowl. So I know that that logo is so important to everybody, not myself. Um, so yes, if you were like, "Oh, I really want to buy the Heritage Tupperware collection from Costco, but I don't want to because the the new logo's on it and it really wouldn't be Heritage because the new logo's on it," then now you know.
all right, that's too niche for me, but I'm sure Rachel would know what you're talking about.
It really doesn't matter to anybody but myself. I just think the new logo
Okay.
is fucking hideous. Like, why do we need to thicken up the font? We don't. The old one was fine. Anyway, it's just the name Tupperware in a really thin font. So,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think that the Christmas for us went to Louisville for a couple days, right? So Rachel had her checkup. I guess people might be interested in that. So Rachel did have her checkup on Christmas Eve. She's progressing good with her burns and recovery and everything like that.
oh, good.
She's actually been redressing her bandage the last 2 or 3 days by herself and showering and all that stuff. So I haven't had to be in the mix that much the last couple days. So yeah, it's recovering well enough. She doesn't have bandages on, the top couple areas that are kind of up by her armpit, and then the lower areas are recovering pretty good. So it's probably another maybe week or so of bandaging, and that would put us about 3 weeks or so since it actually happened, or 4 weeks. So we'll see how that continues, but she's in a good spot. She's been sewing a bunch upstairs today, so back to working on some creative tasks. And yeah, so we're in a good spot there. But Christmas overall, yeah, just visit family and did the things, ate the things. I'm trying to think of what. my parents got me a couple things, but I'm trying to remember what they were. I got a water bottle, like a Walla water bottle
Oh,
that's
hell yeah.
from it's from my high school, so it's like a branded. It's not branded that much, but it's colored for my high school. So it's like a dark green and yellow and some other color. Um, I think it's this. I think they're all standard, right? They're all kind of the same style. So it's like a 32 ounce or 24 ounce. I don't know, but one of those. And there was something else they got me. What else was it? Something bigger. Oh, they got me a handmade glass mixing, like a bartender mixing pitcher. Not really a pitcher. It's like the mixing glass. So you would have it on your bar top and you
Yeah.
would like dump the ice into it and dump your ingredients into it and you would like stir it. It's like a stirring glass kind of or a stirring I want to say pitcher, but it doesn't have a handle on it. So it's a spouted
It's like a chemistry,
beaker
um,
kind of. It's kind of like a beaker, I guess.
yeah, chemistry beaker.
Yeah. So that was the other thing they got. So that was a glass one. I actually saw that he won one of the or he was one of the nominees for the like Etsy Design Awards for this year.
Oh, cool.
So it was he got some good visibility there and then I picked he had a bunch of different colors and I ended up going with like a aqua one. So pretty
Nice.
nice. So that's a nice addition to the collection and yeah, those are the main gifts for the year. And we've just been chugging along. I'm back in the studio a little bit. The Erica and Ashley have been taking some time off, so they'll be back after the new year. It's been kind of nice having time in the studio to like focus on some things for myself and get a little
Yeah.
tidier and that kind of thing. So, yeah, looking forward to hitting the ground running. Yeah, I've been doing a bunch of thinking about the year ahead, mostly the last 3 or 4 days. So it should be good when we get to talk about that here. I don't think we're going to cover all that today, but we'll get to that in the next probably week or two.
Yeah.
Upcoming episodes, we'll talk about it.
Nice, nice, nice.
But yeah, that's where we're at.
That's where we're at.
Okay, do we want to do a rapid fire or maker of the moment?
Um, let's do the rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Okay. So these came in from Corinne at Perched Pottery. First of all, thank you all for signing up for the email list. I looked a couple days ago and we'll put the little intro on this episode too to sign up. We've got like 62 or 65 people on there so far. So thanks for signing up. And Corinne sent a few rapid fires in response to signing up. And the first one is, do you prefer to throw with clear water or slippy water?
Oh, I love this question.
I'm a clear water fan all the way, but I can throw with slippy
100%,
water, but
100% clear water. Like I'm like the epitome of clear water.
clear water. Yeah, I think certain clays tend to be more slippy and like my white clay get like there's a bunch of sediment at the bottom and it's really fine sediment. And then when you start using it, it does like get all in the whole bucket. But my speckled clay it tends to like settle and it doesn't this it's more groggy, so maybe that's part of it, but it doesn't, sit and what do you call that? It doesn't it stays in suspension in the water better on the white clay. So yeah, definitely not a slippy thrower.
Yeah, no, I like if I'm throwing 100 pieces, I'm going through 2 buckets of water. Like I am such a bitch when it comes to water and clay.
Are you Do you have a separate bucket that you're wiping hands off and slop and stuff, or are you throwing slop back in the water bucket that you're using fresh water from?
I started doing it your way recently, but I didn't used to. But I would say that I'm a 3 bucket system. No, maybe a 4 bucket system. So what I do is I'll use the water. Like when I used to throw 100 pieces a day, and when I used to do the water, I would um have one bucket or two buckets that had water from the previous day that had settled, and I'd pour the top water off into the new bucket and then dump out the slop, and
Hmm.
then I would fill up the rest of the bucket.
Oh, because you have two from the previous day that had settled out.
Right.
You're dumping the new water into a third fresh bucket,
Yep.
so you've got a brand new fresh bucket,
Right.
and then you combine those two buckets from yesterday together.
Well, I just toss it into the reclaim or whatever.
Oh, okay. Your fourth bucket is like a reclaim bucket that's got multiple days behind.
Sure.
Okay.
If it's well water, I don't give a fuck.
What do you mean? You'll get new well water or oh, you don't care if it's slippy or clear? Is
So
that what
like
you
the
mean?
reason I do it that way is so I don't waste as much water. But if we're on a well, then I don't really care about wasting it because it's a well.
Oh, okay. So you're not, are you still saving any of the reclaim scraps and stuff like that? Or you just dump all of it every day and just start fresh?
Yeah, I would save like the slop in the bottom, but I just start fresh every day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have running water in the studio, so I'm definitely fresh water for the most part. I mean, I'll let it settle overnight, but if it gets too thick, I mean, it probably takes like a week of throwing or 3 or 4 days of good throwing with that clay body to get too thick that I need to dump off the good stuff, like the fresh water, and then dump that reclaim into my reclaim bucket, but I don't dump it all that frequently because I have the slop bucket that I keep on my wheel top that I'm putting scraps in and wiping my hands on and all that stuff. So anything that's in the bucket of throwing water is just clay, fine clay bits that are on the sponge from like doing pulls or adding water to the piece and scraping it off and like getting on my hands and drip falling into the bucket. So it's mostly like fine clay particles in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the first rapid fire.
I really like that rapid fire question. Who knew we could talk for 20 minutes about
I
water?
know that wasn't too rapid, but that was a good one. Second one is also from Corinne. When working in the studio, do you like to be alone or do you like company? Company can be animals or people.
I like to be alone.
Same. I mean, sometimes the cat will be in there, but I would much rather be alone.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want anybody to disturb me. I don't want them like my studio now doesn't have a door and it doesn't have the window doesn't have any glass or anything. Like I want to fucking blast some motherfucking music and face a wall and not talk to anybody.
Mm.
Wait, and it's fine that my studio right now has that because I haven't been in there very much, but uh that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think that's why I will always value a home studio over any kind of shared studio. Even
Yeah.
though I do have like assistants come in and share the studio, but we're not there's not so much overlap that I have to like put I don't want to have to put headphones on in my own studio. Like I want to keep I don't know, something about putting the headphones on your head and like tightening your I don't know. I just don't want the extra like heat and also just feeling like I have to zone out in this little space within my own home. I'm like, no, I want the openness to watch a movie or listen to music or whatever and not worry about being interrupted. I think being interrupted irritates me a lot. Even though I'm
Yeah.
like I get it, you've got to ask me a question or something, it's fine. But I want to like I have this time set aside to be doing this and I want to focus on doing that.
Yeah. I will say when I had a studio with Sarah, um Sarah Anderson and Merritt, it was kind of nice to have them there just because like me and Sarah would just like she would play Bob's Burgers and I would listen to it and it kind of just made the time pass.
Hmm.
You know, by the way, if you needed it, Bob's Burgers is a great show just to listen to. Um, but like if it's a studio with like three people, that's fine. But but like a shared studio where people coming in and out, I can't do that. I'm way too ADHD.
And I wouldn't even say I'm ADHD much. I just the interruptions. I feel like I have enough interruptions going on in my mind every day and tasks I want to be doing and you know, ideas are so frequent that I need to just focus on actually doing things sometimes. And working
Yeah.
uninterrupted is harder to come by. And you have to be intentional about it. Like something simple as turning your phone on work mode or do not disturb or something. So, because I don't even want any kind of like notification that gets in, breaks the flow.
Oh, now I feel like I'm changing my answer. I would rather be on the phone with somebody than be alone.
Okay, so the phone, rather be on the phone than be alone. Is that because you were kind of talking about the Sarah and stuff? It seems like in the past we've kind of done that together, and it was kind of a motivator of like it gets me in the studio because somebody else is doing something as well, or
Yeah, it's more of like, yeah, it's a time passer. And like, yeah, like if I'm talking to somebody on the phone, I'm not gonna sit down and look at my phone. I'm not gonna sit down and eat. I'm not gonna sit down. I'm just gonna work.
mm-hmm. Hmm. And could, is it also hard for you to just set aside that time to focus and just work if you didn't?
Yes, I would say that it is hard for me to, um, yeah, I would say it's hard for me to just sit down and work. I'm just, I'm just like too distractible.
Yeah. You're like looking for the next thing, but if it's like, ooh, somebody's talking to me, I got to keep a level of focus here to keep the
Yeah.
conversation going.
And preferably at late at night too. Like I would much prefer to work late at night.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I feel like yeah, I don't know if it feels like the time slows at night, but I'm like, ooh, it's like 9 o'clock. I've got so much night ahead of me. I'm like, ooh, okay, this is like the right spot, you know? Like there's not too many, maybe it's because I know there's not too many interruptions that can happen that late.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm just like, okay, this is just for me. Like I can figure out what I want to do at that time because nobody's gonna need me in this period. Maybe it's because it's like, hey, people are already done working for the most part. So I know like most things can wait till tomorrow. And I just got this dedicated time just for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that
Also,
question.
pets no. Fuck the pets for me.
Not like, yeah, not needy pets for sure.
Oh
Autumn will just
my God.
sit in the chair, but I don't really care that she's there or not there. It doesn't matter to me.
If Timmy was in my studio, I would die. Like, nobody knows this, but Timmy's literally sitting on my lap right now, licking my face.
It's like
Okay.
Bobby likes to lick Rachel's fingers and stuff.
Yeah, like he licks inside my fucking nose. Okay. Like this cat is the neediest fucking cat. Like Tammy, fine. Tammy just sits right next to me and just chills, right? Timmy has to be held all the time. Inside a house. On the ground, they run away. So I don't know what the fuck. Like if my studio was outside, it'd be fine.
Yeah, all the freedom.
Yeah,
Maybe they're distractible and they don't like they need to be indoors to be focused on you because you're the
you can't
main.
even pick up Timmy or Tammy outside. They will squirm out of your arms.
Hmm.
Inside, they're a completely different cat.
Autumn jumped into the slip bin the other day.
She did?
Yeah, we've been keeping it open to dry it out because we're kind of getting down really low and there's a big film at the bottom, so the mixer wasn't working as effectively.
Mhm.
So it's kind of got a film on top, and she jumped up onto the rim and then she just jumped right down into it, and her claws kind of permeated the film and she jumped out and had a little bit of clay. It wasn't like she jumped into 5 gallons or 10 gallons worth of it. It's probably like 3 gallons or something like that
Oh,
on a s- on a like a 2 foot by 2 foot tank. So it was a pretty thin layer that she jumped onto, but still she got she got clay. I was like, I hope she doesn't jump, and then she just did it like not immediately after I thought of that, but I kind of left it open for a few days and she hadn't done that, and then she jumped up in there and jumped in and ran off, and all the clay bits got off of her over the next like couple days, but
you're like, you can figure that out.
yeah, it wasn't that much. It mostly like splashed up onto the bottom side of her like stomach and stuff.
That's like when Tibbet fell into the white glaze. You remember that?
Ooh, I do remember that.
And she got, oh my God, she got white glaze paw prints all over the house.
Yeah. Yeah. No big paw prints out here. Luckily, I still had my carpet covering out here from the soda firing workshop. So there's a couple little spots on that, but nothing on the carpet, and it wasn't that messy. So pretty lucky
Yeah.
there, but yeah, that was exciting. All right. Thank you for the rapid fire questions. Folks, if you are on our mailing list or not, you should sign up and then you should send us questions because we will probably put preference on those that are coming through that way. And then we have a giveaway going on. So if you want to sign up before mid-January, we will be giving away the Amazing Glaze Food Safe Recipes book. I bought an extra copy and we're going to give it away. So sign up. Okay. Do we want to talk about our friends at L&L? I actually just fired the mini kiln last night to get some cocktail jiggers for a customer that was wanting one for a
Nice.
gift. So I fit 7 in there, I think. They're a little oddball on the height, so it's not quite. I could probably fit another spoon rest in there, but it's a good size that I can fit. The cocktail jiggers are like 2 shot glasses stacked on top of one another, so you can measure the cocktails and stuff. But I filled that bad boy up. It's coming down now, and then I'll probably reload it with another batch tomorrow and fire it up again. So,
Man, that's amazing. It still
yes.
freaking boggles my mind how easy it is to fire it.
Mm-hmm. And I just updated the schedule a little bit, so I fired at the same schedule that I do in my big kiln. We'll see if there's any differences I notice. I was having a different firing schedule, but I was like, I don't know why I'm doing like a faster. I was doing a faster glaze 6 firing, but I was like, it's already so small. It's probably not going to be that much different in the turnaround time. So we'll we'll see how that turns out. But especially with it like, it's kind of work. It's so easy to load and start and forget about it and check on it the next day or 2 days later or whatever. So
Yeah. And
super easy.
if you don't have a heater, you can fire it inside your apartment and it might heat the room a tiny bit.
Yeah, you could probably blow a little fan off of it, spread some of that heat up. I mean, obviously use your precautions with where it's at on like don't put it on carpet and shit, but you know, be smart about it.
Yeah, and maybe do the fan part after all the glazes burn off. But um bisque, you're good. You're good to go. Uh yeah. I still so very much want to get a medium size or not medium, a baby kiln. Not a mini kiln, but a baby kiln.
Hmm.
And I'm working on it. I just gotta make up my mind and get some moolah.
I was
Maybe
gonna say it's
a tax return and I could use it with that.
maybe. Do you normally get, well, this is your first time in a while doing an actual W-2 tax return.
Correct. So I don't know.
I don't know. Do you normally get, well, I guess you normally owe money or did you pay? What did you normally do? Did you get money
Normally I
back?
normally I owe.
You owe, yeah.
Like I've literally owed I think I've only ever gotten a tax return like once.
Yeah, I mean, I probably, yeah, I definitely have owed. I mean, the small business side of it, I've definitely had to owe money, but even though I pay estimated taxes because I keep making more money year by year. So
Right.
I end up not overpaying or whatever. But yeah, maybe that'll be a little incentive to get you started
Yeah, that would be
or
nice.
make a goal of it and work toward it for I don't know, getting your pottery sales for that. I feel like you were having what do we talked about a little bit ago that you were going to do some pottery sales to get for some incentive. Was it the hand surgery or something like that?
No, this was the secret goal that no one was supposed to remind me about. But
It was some goal, but I don't remember what it was.
it was to pay off the van. So,
Oh, okay.
which is actually in go time.
Wait, that was like two goals ago, wasn't it? I thought there was a goal that you had like 2 or 3 months ago that you were trying to save up for, and it was like within 5 grand or something.
Oh yeah, that was the surgery. That was a miss. Um, that was a missed
Okay.
goal.
New
But
year, new goal.
new year, new goal number 75. Um, yeah, so this newest goal is to make more than 10 grand to pay off my van
That's a big goal.
because and it's kind of like an important goal because I want to get an apartment.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm s- I think that a non-moving vessel would be best for my mental health.
Mm. Yeah, I would suspect stability of not weather dependent kind of things would probably help with, you know, some of those common things of cooking and all that stuff. Plus
Yeah, like,
you could put the kiln in there.
oh my God, I could.
If you needed to, I mean, I don't know how that would work with the apartment happiness of them having you do that, but if you put it in the right spot, I feel like you probably could uh do it safely.
Yeah, I mean I could. Yeah, for sure. But I'm still gonna have the studio at Preston's, obviously. But I mean, if there was a garage, like if I got a house and there was a garage, it'd be nice.
Hmm.
But uh, yeah. I think it's time. I've lived here for almost a year, uh, in van, and the only thing stopping me from getting an apartment is the van payment,
Mm,
quite
yeah.
literally.
Yeah, I mean yeah, you were paying for that as your housing. So,
Right, exactly. So if I could do that. And then I'll still have the van if I want to go back or whatever, you know.
Hmm.
So,
Okay. So L&L potentially new
oh, right.
goal in 2026 to get a bigger kiln that is not the plug and fire. And Becca, as you're looking at specs for what you can do in your apartment or not, or in a different studio, where do you need to go to find all that information? You
Hotkilns.com.
got me there. I was waiting and I was like, did her audio cut out? No. Okay. Okay. She got me. We're not on video, so I can't see that she's saying something, but
Right. I was like getting in the moment.
all right. So that was already kind of getting into 2026 stuff. But um, before we get to the official topic, do you want to get into our maker of the moment, which would be the last one of this year as of recording this, and then we'll get to our topic.
Yes.
Okay. And Becca, I don't know why it took us so long, but you already shared this on the Instagram, which should make this a lot easier when we do it live on the podcast to talk about it because we don't have to double up with multitasking. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Brian was like, why did that take us so long? And I was like, probably because I was in charge. That was my job. And I was like, why would I do it at a different time? Why would I do it before the podcast? What? So,
so do you remember the name of yours?
yes, because we talked about it. It's map, art. Map, art.
Yeah, it looks like it's Marie and Paul Allett. Allett?
Alet,
Alet? I don't know.
Alet, Elite.
Yeah, but their Instagram says they're porcelain ceramics, slab built in porcelain, color slip, and glaze. Looking at those, I did not know that they were slab built. I thought they were slip cast because they look so nice and perfect.
Yeah, but now you can see the, do you see do you see the seam now that you see it?
Um,
Look at
well,
the
which
one
ones are
that,
you looking at? Because I'm looking at some of them, they're all profile photos where you're looking at one side of it. Did
look
do
at the
you
one
did
that's yellow and blue. It's like 4 in,
yellow and blue?
or yellow, orange, and blue. There's only two.
Yellow, orange, and blue. Uh, I uh, I don't know. It's hard to tell. That just looks like the light to me, but
No, there's definitely a seam there. I'm sending it to you.
well, which post is it? Because they all have a bunch of photos in here. So, oh, it's that one. Oh, I thought that was the light.
No, that's a seam.
You're
Which, by
talking.
the way, is lovely. You know, like, oh man, I love a seam. I love a seam, especially when you have pieces that are this pristine. Showing that they're handmade in some way, shape, or form is like beautiful.
Yeah, I think I can kind of see it on some of the necks are a little askew on
Yeah.
some of the bottle forms, and it's like, oh, that's like, it's either slumping a little bit or something like that. But the designs are like super precise.
Super precise. And they're so beautiful and so mid-century. They're like, you know who would love these is your wife.
She definitely would.
Yeah, she def would.
I'm looking
Oh,
at the
oh,
two
oh, if you
different
want to see a really
accounts.
good, if you want to see a really good seam, um, I'm sending you the picture. It's a solid seam. It's got, oh, sorry, Timmy, stop. Um, it's on June 21st, and the yellow one on the left side has a solid seam all the way down.
June 21st. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
See, when I saw that on a different photo, I thought on the glossy part that it was just the shadows or something. I can see the seam now. Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. I wonder how
It's
big they are though. It's hard to tell, but they look sweet though.
yeah, they're so beautiful. Like this is something I want to see. Yes, yeah, see, this is something I want to see in a fucking art museum. Like in a contemporary art museum gift shop.
Mm. It looks like they're in it's in on their website it's Great British Pounds, so I'm guessing they're in the UK somewhere.
Mm.
And it's cool if you flip through a couple of their photos, you can see the seam on the second foot, one of these other photos.
I think this
Nice.
is a really good example of showing how a piece is made doesn't necessarily make it look cheaper, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think a lot of people think that sometimes showing a seam makes it look like it wasn't done well, but God, it like it can elevate your pieces so much too, you know?
Yeah. I can see if there was I almost feel like it could be interesting to show, this same group of pots, but put them with the seam out. So you're looking at just that visual of those forms
Yeah,
instead of like that being the backside. You're actually seeing that up front and close. Yeah, I
yeah,
like the look of these. These are nice.
yeah. This is like a perfect example of how contemporary modern design can be mixed with an organic structure. Like, yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, they look great.
yeah. So anyway, you should definitely go look them up. Map Art.
Map art.
And it looks like they have their own personal pages, but it might be the exact same thing.
Yeah, Paul looks more like the graphic design
Oh yeah.
aspect, and maybe I don't know if this is geometric abstract design. Okay, so I don't know if it's printmaking or paint. It's probably not paint. Probably digital art maybe, but yeah, really nice. And then looks like Marie is maybe
It's
the
a
more
collage. It's a collage.
the ceramicist.
Did you
Nice.
hear me? It's a collage.
His work is all collage.
Yeah, it looks like somebody's taking photos of them.
Oh, yeah, they look sweet.
Yeah, they really do.
Okay, so that's map art, and then mine is orangeboy.ceramics. This is their name
I
is
broke the rules.
her name is Aya Tortosa. Aya Tortosa. I broke the rules because they have 29.4 thousand followers,
Yeah,
but I found them a few weeks ago and they were just too damn cute to not share. So some of their titles says handmade fat cat ceramics. So it's a lot of like yarn bowls and planters, and it's got just very caricature cats, and they've got good like personalities to them. It looks like they're good with sketching and producing them or converting them into actual, forms and all that. They've got little miniatures, they've got bigger pieces. Yeah, they just look really sweet.
for sure.
So all different kinds of custom cats. I wonder where they're located. Let's see. I wonder if I can tell from the about they're based in Florida. One person team. They have two cats, Pip and Luis. And ceramics was born out of a period of intense burnout from working as a critical care nurse during the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody else.
So yeah, I
Yes.
wonder if they're brand new to ceramics as of, 2020 timeframe or if It's kind of like it's so niche, but looking at the craft of it and how well it's done. I mean, these yarn bowls are $265.
Jesus.
So a lot of time spent on them, a lot of detail, and she's definitely not cranking out hundreds of these at a time. Like, it's a slow, methodical thing. So they look great. All right, so that is Orange Boy dot Ceramics, Aya Tortosa. And you can find both of those in our story highlight on Instagram. If you want to check out all the ones we did this year and probably a little bit last year. I don't know when we started doing this, probably mid 2024, something like that.
This is definitely, I think that this is a great thing to start with about what has been good about this year.
Okay, so going into the topic, what is so good about this year? Is that the framing of what we're talking about today?
Yeah.
So
And
what went well and not necessarily financials?
no, just like how we felt about the year overall and like
Hmm.
key points that we thought were really great.
Okay.
Yeah, and
And
I feel like
is this
Maker of the
specific
Moment,
to our business or podcast or both or
I think both.
both?
Yeah. I think Maker of the Moment was like one of the better things that we've done over the years. And it's been a lot of fun to like find new people and to share new people.
Hmm. Yeah, I think sometimes the some of the questions can feel repetitive when we get listener questions and they feel some of them when I read them can feel a little bit broad, but to me the maker of the moment kind of feels like okay, we have a loose parameters, we can make it what we will. People that we have on can tell us who they think they want to recommend, and then it kind of gives us another way to engage with the audience to give them someone else they can maybe check out or building
Yeah.
that community aspect of the what the podcast is about.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And also the artists that we found have been so fun.
Yeah, and they're so different. I mean, obviously, I leaned in a lot to atmospheric fired pots, and some here and there are have a little more modern aspect to them or whatnot. But yeah, I want to show more appreciation for the folks that are the atmospheric stuff is a little less appreciated or more traditional, I guess, or kind of for a more unique group. But I want more people to see that work and see the intricacies of what the process is involved or what kind of results you can get. So hopefully it gets more people interested in trying it for themselves if they've never done it. Since for the most part, electric kilns are pretty accessible, and then also challenge myself to see who else out there sparks my interest that is not within that group. So,
Yeah, for sure. It's been great.
I guess the one thing kind of podcast-ish related that I would say to start, I think I don't it's hard to compare pot swap year to year, but I feel like it's got a lot more um structure around it.
Hmm.
Last year I think was a good step in the right direction with actually like charging for it and getting a little more um like used to the design contest and all of that. And I think this year we elevated a little bit more by having the email list helped a lot. It did add some complexity of how do we verify people and all of that, which I think was hard to understand like the scope of the work that was going to be involved in making sure everybody was accounted for. But I don't know, it felt less, it still felt stressful, but I think overall it feels like we're moving in the right direction with it. And, 1,500 people is still a ton of people to be serving. And it's hard to know the scope of it year to year because everybody that's out there kind of makes it what they will with what they give and what they receive and how they share about it and all of that. But I feel like it's in a good spot that it can like continue in a for the future and not um I don't know, I just feel like it could be a little more um it's in a we got a good foundation and like framework for it for the future. So um that's one key takeaway that I had.
Yeah. It has been hard for me this year. Pot swap has been really hard, and I know that you have noticed because I've gotten a lot of reminders. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I think this really might be my last year, but who knows?
Yeah, I've definitely been doing a little chat GPTing about some of the systems for pot swap and how to improve efficiencies or make it better or
Yeah.
help with the workload and the burnout and all of that. Um,
I don't
yeah.
know. I actually have no fucking clue how you run a business after a job. Um, my job's not even hard, and I like the last thing I want to do is get on a fucking laptop and email somebody. And I don't even touch an email at work. I literally go in there and do nothing of the sorts.
Yeah, I mean that's why a lot of days I don't want to spend more time on the computer. Like I could, that I have intentionally been spending less time on social media the last 2 to 3 months because I just drag my feet and I don't want to spend more time on my phone or on a screen. And I'm like, I want to be in the studio making things or doing that. And I want to make that a conscious effort in 2026 to prioritize that stuff more.
Yeah.
And but I mean, I feel like it kind of goes back to some of what we were talking about with like burnout stuff, where it's like, do you have to go through it to be like, okay, you don't want to do that at that level again? And some of it, I just push through it because I'm like, pot swap is you and me. Like we're the last points of contact to get things done because we are the leaders of it. So with some of this stuff, it's not going to get done if one of us don't do it.
Right.
So even if it's for, till the end of the year, like this is all temporary for pot swap. Like it's generally a October to December to January effort for the most part.
Yeah.
And it is seasonal. So it's like, hey, there is an end in sight. It's not like you have to um keep at this consistently for the next, 6 months or whatever, and it's never gonna leave you. Um, that's where we can put the boundaries in place to keep it within reason. But yeah, it's a pretty difficult period for this Q4 of this year. The October through December period was pretty tough, especially with all
Yeah.
the other commitments with the shows and the um I wouldn't say online was very stressful, but just all of the things, all the things put together at the same time does put kind of a pressure cooker on things.
Yeah, yeah. I You know what I did this year that I have literally never done, I don't think, is that somebody emailed me about getting four fidget stones. That's it, four. 4. And I was like, yeah, I could do that. And then I had to ship them to Canada. I didn't even make them.
You didn't even make them?
No, I completely forgot about the whole thing. And it was supposed to be a Christmas gift. And then I emailed her. And to be completely honest, it was because of my depression. Like I didn't do anything this year, essentially. But like, yeah,
So you were
like
saying the first thing you did in a while was just drop the ball on one thing? Is that what like promising to do something and you didn't do it? Is that what you mean? You did,
yeah, I
okay.
haven't dropped the ball like that ever, I don't think. And 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 like usually maybe it was a little bit late or whatever, but I actually delivered. This time I didn't even deliver it. I just I'm about to email her and be like, "I'm so sorry. I'm a terrible person." Like,
Did you actually take money?
no, I didn't, thank God.
Oh, okay.
If I had taken money, I probably would have done it.
Yeah. That's where sometimes, I mean, with these custom orders, I get it. It's like, hey, these are things that I would be doing already. Well, this wasn't something you would be doing already, anyways. But
Yeah.
if it's one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, I can do that. That's nothing. Yeah, I'll take care of it. Like some of those things add up if you don't put them on a list and prioritize them and actually make it a point to do it. Like I've had, um, with our nieces and nephews, they came over like months ago, and I started making a Thor hammer. I threw it on the wheel in like two parts, and it's still sitting in a damp box untrimmed since they were here in August, I think. And
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like
what I'm talking about.
his birthday was in December. I feel like he's gonna ask me about it the next time I see him this weekend, and I'm not gonna have it, and he's gonna be like, I don't know that I promised it to him, but started making it, and I almost feel like I should just throw it in the scrap and just be like, sorry, it broke, and I couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, some of the something like that, I made it for fun in that day, but I didn't like the work involved to get it to a finished state was just not up on my priority list. And I was just like, I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah,
Kind of like when family or somebody asks you to make them something and you're like, oh yeah, I'll make that. And then you're
you
just
never
like,
do.
yeah.
Yeah. I just felt like a terrible person. Honestly, I should have, the first time I emailed her, I should have said, like, I can't do this. And I didn't. I was like, I'll do it, but it'll be late. And I just never did it.
Hmm.
So,
And some of that's probably you want to do it, or you
yeah,
want to be able you want to be a person that can fulfill an ask like that
yeah,
in that moment, even though maybe you're not in the best space to be making it in that period of your year or your life or whatever, even though you may have it was easy for you to do a year or two ago.
yeah. Oh,
Especially when you're in the thick of making them all the time. Like if you're not making them in forever, you're like, oh, I gotta start from scratch. Yeah.
wasn't even that. All I had to do was fire them.
Oh, you've been making them, or you had some
I had
bisque
a
or something?
bunch left over. It
Oh,
was so
dang.
bad. It was so bad, Ryan. Like the amount of work and effort I had to put into it was minimal.
Well, so, I mean, to give you a little pass, like some of it, if you're not making enough of them to like make it worth your time or whatever, then you'll just forget about that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you like somebody broke a yarn bowl, um, it arrived to them safely, and then they shipped it to somebody else that they were gifting it to, and they broke it in transit, and she was asking for a replacement. Um, and she'll pay for it, but I was like, because I sold all of the ones that I made this year, and then I was like, crap, I got to start from the beginning on these, and feel like I already have a new commission, and it's December 29th, you know?
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, I can make some. It'll take a few weeks, but I'll make it.
yeah. Ugh.
I got to make some anyways, but it's like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I also feel like we should mention the bad things that happened in this last year too.
I feel
But
like those are multiple bad things. Last the last two things we mentioned.
I know I like that's why I'm saying that like I think it's okay that we just said that. Um,
Yeah.
how do you feel about your like overall like shows and stuff? Did you have like a really outstanding moment that you thought of?
Um, I think this is probably more a lesson learned sort of situation, or and I was looking at a Will Donovan post today, and he categorized this as mistakes that cost the most in his
Mm,
recap that I really enjoyed. And one of the things that I was writing down related to shows was in the spring when I saw a dip in sales, I kind of stress applied for not stress applied, but I reactively applied to more shows to fill my calendar to make up for the potential lack of sales for the rest of the year. And
hmm.
as someone that commits to something and doesn't go back on the commitment once I've already like officially put it on my calendar and everything, and I probably paid for the booth at that point and all that, I went through with it, but it was the busiest show season I'd had. I think I ended up selling 23 shows this year. So it's probably a little more than last year. But some of those one day filler shows like farmers markets and one day local ones that maybe I sold $1,000, which that's a great show depending on who you are. It's like relative, obviously, but for me, it's generally not worth going out and selling $1,000 for a day or $500 at a farmer's market or $200 at a farmer's market or whatever. Um, if I would, I probably would have gained a little more of my weekends back or more time
Yeah.
to focus on making work or doing more of my process to catch up for the other shows that were more important. I still did really good and amazing at my summer shows and or not my summer show, more my fall shows. Fall is kind of the biggest point for shows for me. So I did exceed my show sales from last year, but I probably worked a little bit
Yeah.
harder on those smaller shows than I needed to.
Yeah.
So I think I'll use that for next year to be like, no, this is expected. Even if shows dip a little bit, it's fine. Focus on the bigger
Yeah.
shows that you're confident
Stick
in,
to the plan.
and obviously I'll still apply for more shows, considering like I don't expect that I'm going to get into certain ones. So I still have to plan accordingly for that. Like, don't just apply for only the shows that I would want on my calendar, ideally, but don't necessarily apply for those like mid-tier shows that maybe I've done for 4 or 5 years that are kind of like one day local shows that aren't as profitable
Hmm.
and focus that time at home instead. Or, maybe I can fire a soda kiln that weekend instead of going and traveling somewhere or going to a show for 8 hours or whatever. So I think that was probably the biggest show related finding, but overall, I was very happy with shows for the year. That's still my biggest revenue. That's the biggest percentage of my revenue is from shows. So,
Hell yeah. Okay, we're not talking about numbers, but because I know you, have you looked at your overall sales for the year?
yes.
Is it above 100 grand?
Yes.
Can you tell me how much it is?
The Etsy sales are not finalized because we still have 2 more days left in the year, but I'm probably going to end up revenue wise about 118,000.
Shut the fuck up! I'm so happy for you.
Thanks.
That's the fucking coolest news I've heard in a while.
I think I ended last year right around 100,000.
Yeah. You literally like almost you were like $1,000 away from 100,000.
I think I might have surpassed it by a few $100 because I was looking
Yeah.
because I think I was like, "Ooh, am I gonna get it? Am I gonna get it?" And I did like barely pass it.
Yeah, it was so close. I remember that. Yeah.
So, yeah, last year I beat it by $300, over 100,000, 100,000 and $300.
That is so freaking awesome. I can't believe that. I mean, I can believe it, but I can't.
It was mostly the shows. Shows are the biggest percentage, like I said, and comparatively to last year, it looks like I sold $10,000 more in show sales. So sitting at about $62,000 in show sales. And then my online sales are going to be close to $30,000 compared to
Mm.
$22,000 last year.
Wow.
Those are the biggest chunks.
It's awesome.
Yeah, those two numbers make up probably about 80% or 70% of my sales. 75% maybe between shows and online.
Wow, wow, wow. That's awesome.
But yeah, sitting pretty good. I think my goal was planned at 105 to 110,
Nice.
and the online sales for this month of December is what pushed me. I think I'll have close to $11,000 in show sales from December alone online.
Wow, that's amazing. That is
So I
great.
yeah. That's why I wanted to share the Etsy stuff a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean some of that's not just like overnight like people just finding me. I think it's kind of a hopefully a representation of doing the right things over time and having the consistency and the right ingredients to make it happen and the right products and all that. But yeah, it's good. It makes it interesting for planning next year for what that goal could be in 2026. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm hoping fewer shows and a little more, a little less on the verge of like burning out or pushing like I'm
Pushing 90.
yeah, pushing too hard because yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's being in the moment of it that I'm like go go go, but I guess it's like you're swimming and you're not above water that much. And then when you're above water and you're like settled, you can actually like see further away and like look back at the months before. Look, it's hard to tell like, okay, how stressed was I in the moment? Because I feel like that's so subjective, but
No, yeah. Looking back at something when you've experienced it is wild.
hmm
Wild. Like just being like, holy shit.
hmm
Like I shouldn't have done that. Or like that was a good decision, but what was the cost, you know?
hmm
Yeah. That is crazy.
Yeah, did you have any specific I know your kind of focus was mostly on getting used to the having a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But I guess, was there overarching, you know, doing a quote unquote regular job, you know, findings that you had positive, negative
Um,
on almost a year in on it?
yeah. I don't know when we did the last Depressy episode, but uh I feel like the overall theme for this year in my brain has been it's been so freaking hard, but really good. It and uh I would be lying if I, you know, a month ago wasn't sitting in this bed crying my eyes out and telling a friend I hate it here. Like, um, this year, as far as like having to deal with living like with a full-time job, which has been delightful, the full-time job. Like I'm not stressed at all at said full-time job. Um, and and then also on top of that, living with the worst depression that I've had ever, um, has been really difficult,
Mm.
really hard. And I would like to not relive this year at all, ever again. Um, it's really, um, I actually just had a conversation last night about this. It's really hard to explain to people that it's not any interaction or any one event that is depression. It's so deep and like nothing, like I'll cry for like hours and not even know why I'm crying, you know? And uh I have shed so many more tears this year than in my entire fucking life. And but I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about um my boundaries, about like the friendships I have, and and I think that I'm kind of like getting to the point of understanding maybe the base of where it comes from, other than the hereditary part of it from my mom. Thanks. And so yeah, I it's been a tough one.
Hmm.
I would be lying if I told you that I didn't like have people worrying for my life, including myself a few times. And like I even went to the doctor this last week and she was like, I was afraid you weren't gonna come back. So yeah, it's been really, really, really tough. But I'm hoping to come out of it on the other side. Um, yeah, it's yeah. I would be more than happy to do another episode if people are wanting that sort of thing for the depression. Because I think it's got there's a lot more to talk about if people want to listen.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah,
I'm always curious about this every time you mention like more insight into that. Um, and I'm like, do you think about the whether you would be in the same state of the depression if you were either if a couple different switches were flipped, like you didn't have the 9 to 5 job and you were still doing the small business side of it, would it be as
just as
bad,
hard.
just as hard? Or if you were not in Statesville in a different location than you have historically been, would it be the same? Or
Right.
some of those kind of like thought thought experiments of if I were not in this state, or what switches could be flipped, not that easily flipped, but you know what I'm saying, like what factors contribute more so or less so, or is it just pretty steady no matter what?
Um, no, that's good. That's a good question. So, contributing factors, uh, I do think that Statesville had a huge thing, had a huge uh factor in it. I think that moving to a new place, and I have Preston and Sarah who own Tolbert Ceramics, and they have been very great, and they've kept me alive quite literally, probably. Um, had I not had that, I don't think I would still be in Statesville. But I did midway through find like a core group of people that I enjoy, like friends. Um, it's funny actually, one of my was asking about me, and we have like completely different taste in music, completely different lives. Like she has two children, I don't. I have two cats. And and her mom was like, "What do you guys even have in common?" And she goes, "Depression and anxiety."
Mm. You're like,
And
that's plenty.
that's plenty. But we are really good friends now. And so I feel like having those really flip something for me. And also, as mentioned previously, I have entered a new relationship. Um, and that has been one of something like I've never actually had, friendship or otherwise, where like there's like uh an unlimited amount of support. And
Mm.
and so yeah, and I think that it's also kind of like made me pay attention to what people I need to invest my time into. Like you're somebody that is always checking up on me, like whether it be not just like about my mental health, but like we always talk, like you're a friend that has given me as much as I've given you, you
Mm.
know? And I think that it's me realizing that I give so much to people and very rarely get that in return. Um and because I'm like laid back and I'm like whatever, it's uh it's not really considered as much, you know?
Hmm.
So, uh I do think that being in Statesville to it, I do think that having a 9 to 5 attributed to it for two reasons. One, my specific 9 to 5 involves me with headphones and or silent all the time. So there was a astronomical amount of time spent thinking.
Mm.
Um, and two, having a consistent schedule, while good, also has limited my ability to do anything outside of work.
Mm.
So, because like I think I'm almost to the point of like my depression being almost a handicap in the sense of like I get home and I can't do fucking anything. Like me making food, um doing anything like that is a lot of work. A lot of work.
Yeah,
And
your
so
battery's kind of drained by that point.
exactly. Um so that has contributed negatively, and that's why like that's why I brought that up about having a week off every quarter at work, just so that I can have time to like sit and be still.
Hmm.
And maybe like go drive somewhere and like recoup some of that mental energy. um Yeah. And also, as previously stated, I have lost 40 pounds in the last 5 months, 6 months, and like an unreasonable amount for the amount of time that I have been doing it, and like while eating pasta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was eating ice cream 3 times a week, like, like bad food.
Well, yeah, I suspect if you're eating lunches at work and then you're getting back from work and not feeling like doing anything, then you're probably not going to make
Yeah.
meals almost at all. Or if you do, it's going to be quick things that
Yeah, it's gonna be
like
pasta with
two
fucking
meals a
butter.
day or a meal and a half a day.
Yeah, pasta with butter and Parmesan cheese. And so the fact that I lost so much weight so quickly, um, eating that kind of food was like not great at all. Um,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
so it's like, oh, hooray, I'm 40 pounds lighter, but also, fuck.
Yeah, what energy is your body running on to be able to how full is your battery running on that much,
Exactly.
in like nutrients and all that stuff.
Yeah. Like yesterday, I had like a mental breakdown, right? And cried for maybe 3 hours. And my body today is so sore, just from like existing. So, yeah, so that's kind of how the last year been has been. Um, this was also the first time my mother has asked me if I was thinking about suicide, so that was fun. And my answer was not a solid no. So that was fun. Um, and yeah. So yeah, it's been a fucking year. And I'm ready for it not to be this year. And I've been doing a lot better the last month. Um, just one minor, faux pas. And yeah. So yeah, that's it.
That's it. I was looking through some of the questions that because I was I was asking ChatGPT some ideas when I mentioned this topic. Um, I and this probably this might relate. I feel like I if I didn't have any specific ones, I was kind of thinking about like boundaries. Is there any boundaries that stuck this year or boundaries that you set? I know I was putting more boundaries on social media of not, time limits and that kind of thing to control the amount of screen time I was having this year. I think that was one that I definitely set. Um, Maybe less on other like, no to commissions or stuff like that. I think I was a little more specific about, you know, looking at, you know, I feel like instead of being a yes man about, commissions or ideas or whatever, I was a lot more open to just being like, oh no, sorry, I can't do that. And most of that kind of stuff comes through Etsy or somebody asking about classes or whatnot. Um, and not giving as much mental energy to some of that stuff where I'm like, I pretty much know right off the bat, okay, no, I'm not interested in that, and just kind of like shut it down.
Yeah.
Or, people constantly ask you about, oh, I've got this show going on or this thing, and I'm just like, nope, not interested. Sorry. Good luck. Not that short, but getting a little bit better about making those distinctions and saying like, nope, I'm not. No thanks. Did you have any specific boundaries or
I think that I've done really good at um this sounds terrible, but being okay at wasting the money at the studio by not going there.
being okay with wasting the money at the studio by not going there? So like not feeling guilty about, oh,
Yeah,
I'm spending the money. I have to be there at least X number of times or whatever it may be.
right. But also I don't feel guilty because my car is parked behind it. But um so they can have the money. But yeah, like not feeling guilty uh about just not doing pottery this year as much.
Yeah. I'm still trying to think of like how to, because like I don't feel like I can plan a downtime with like, oh, I'm gonna use this as my planning day or these 2 days or whatever, and like it's naturally gonna come to it. Feels like you're forcing it in a way. I think some of the mental like giving myself space to actually go down that mental path of thinking through ideas and okay, what do I want to try here and having quote unquote free time to actually go down that mental exercise and write some things down. But also I'm just constantly like thinking of ideas all the time. and only some of them very few of them I'm actually going to execute on. But I'm hoping that in 2026 I can spend less time just going through that mental exercise with ChatGPT or writing notes down that I'm never going to actually execute on and actually like, okay, I've done enough of this talking it out. Let's actually like do something to work toward that instead of just thinking about it. Um, within reason of like what's actually going to be sustainable, or maybe just doing it for a period of time of like, we're just going to try this. No expectations. It doesn't have to be anything of like, has to make a certain amount of financial sense or whatever. But less less of that just whatever the mental masturbation of like thinking of it all the time because I'm constantly going through that all the time
Yeah.
and it's pretty exhausting. But some days I just get that at night and I'm like, okay, I'm like working or that's why I kind of want to be busy in the studio doing things and making so that I don't go to sleep and I'm like thinking for like an hour about something or some idea or whatever. Because the business never shuts off. It's constant.
Oh, oh, I'm sorry. Whoa. It sure doesn't shut off. It sure is constant.
Do you foresee the like wanting a certain base level of pottery business in 2026, or would you prefer to let that go with wherever the wind takes it a little bit?
I do foresee it because I've oh, Ryan, there's been little glimmers of God, I wish I was in my studio right now. Or, it might be nice to make something. And that's what I've been waiting for. You know what
Mm,
I'm
you're
saying?
kind of getting that spark again, that excitement.
Yeah, like, and I think that that's something that I haven't allowed myself to fully gain back. Um, which is why I'm happy that I've been like not going into the studio as much. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, so I feel like, yeah, there's been times where I'm like, oh, yeah, I should probably do that. I do have a show in March, ironically, the
Hmm.
Friday of Nsika.
Yeah.
And that I signed up for last year, so I would have never known that I was gonna go through this year, but I will have stuff for it. I probably won't sell very much, I don't know. But because this is the land of the brown clay. So, um
Hey, your stuff will stand out then. It
yeah, but
will differentiate itself.
rainbows don't do well out here, so um
Mm.
but I am gonna start making stuff for that and to do the van thing. So I'll probably do the van thing and then do a slow climb.
Hmm.
What I foresee hopingfully is to do the van thing, make a shit ton of money really quickly, um, hype hype it up, and then like move from there.
Hmm. Use the momentum to move, you know,
Yeah.
get it to the next thing. Yeah, you should have your when and then you've got a hand surgery in there.
Yep. Hand surgery's happening. That's another thing that I have to, and like, oh,
Yeah, you got like a month before that or two, a month and a half before that,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I have to call them. But the HR guy said it was going to be 6 weeks out. And I was like, what? And he was like, yep, 6 weeks. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's a big commitment, yeah.
Yeah. But,
Well, your brain should be flying during that period.
right. So I think that'll be a really good last push for that.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeppity yep yeppers. Um, yeah, it should be good. Get an apartment or no, actually, I gotta get a house. I have to like find a house because I need the cats to be outside.
Yeah, you can't do the apartment life with that, I'm guessing.
No, like, and
Not
everybody's
easily or not without pissing people off, I guess.
right. Everybody's probably like, why can't the cats be inside all the time? No.
Yeah, try to take an outside cat and just be like, you're just going to be an indoor cat now.
Yeah, fuck that. I don't need to be chasing cats down hallways, okay? Like, that's not in my plan.
Yeah,
So,
once Lloyd was out of the apartment life and he was in van life,
nope.
trying to put him back into apartment, probably
Mm,
not a
absolutely.
good thing.
The only cat that could handle indoor life after being outside was Dottie. She was like, "Yes, bitch. Let me leave. Let me just leave me here. It's fine." She was like, "Is
Hmm.
that a couch? I shall.
I shall take the couch.
I shall take the couch." So yeah, no, it'll be good. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I was the other thing I was reflecting on from the year, I was kind of looking back at what I was my goals were and stuff, and I did a lot of one-off teaching and random things like that. Besides the soda workshops, doing the the digital online virtual workshops and stuff. I'm trying to it feels like there's a lot of opportunity to go that route if I wanted to, but I think kind of toning it down and keeping it within reason so it doesn't pull me away from what I truly want to be focusing on. A lot of is the making the work and selling the work and um using that period of the year, whether it's like bookkeeping workshops and all that, to actually limit myself on that and just focus on the folks that, already have showed interest and already kind of know what I'm about with the stuff and not feeling like I need to reach a huge audience to get gangbuster like money in to reach like 100 new people or whatever it may be. I think just focusing on making it a little better, giving people the resources they need to solve the issues with the system they're already using with the bookkeeping and probably doing less digital teaching of other things so I can focus on the soda workshops and like those more niche items that I've been focusing on, and then obviously the podcast for the next year. So, um, yeah, I think when there's so many little, and I say little projects, but like some of these things can just pull me in so many different directions. I feel like or see like those parents. And then you show the kids like it almost feels like a meme or something where they show like kids like tugging on them this way, and they're just like frozen. Where it's like there's so many ways you can go here, and you're like, I don't know where to go. And then you're just like stuck. So I think that's some of the mental drain of all the different options. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to focus a little more. Okay, what do I want to get? Back to basics a little bit of okay, what's working? What do I enjoy spending my time doing? What do what do I think is going to be, uh, what needs to be delegated? And some of that could be especially like pot swap stuff. I think we're going to need to get more involvement from others um, to help with some of those aspects because it's getting to a crazy size and has been for the last couple of years. But yeah, I think 2026 could be interesting. And I mean, I tend to have pretty conservative goals of adding new things or getting a little bit better here and there and not adding anything groundbreaking. But I think there will be some changes. And some of them are probably going to be more uncomfortable for like bigger changes than I'm used to. So I'm trying to prepare for like adjust the things that I'm already comfortable working in and keep them within reason so that I don't, so that I can use that unaccounted for like mental bandwidth or time bandwidth to put to those other things that could take up my time that are not currently like on the plate.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that looks like, but yeah, overall very happy with the year and looking forward to still having a few days before we start the kind of back to the day. I've been working a little slower the last few days for day job and then getting back to regular work and getting the, Erica back in the studio more consistently and all of that stuff. So I like the making season where it's like, okay, there's not too many things on the calendar. I can work in the studio, I can make, and I can start chipping away at that big list.
For sure.
I love that challenge.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. Any final words, Becca?
No.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. By the time this is out, it's already going to be a couple days into January.
Oh wait, I do have something. If you guys do want to hear me talk about depression, you can send me a message. Don't send it to Wheel Talk.
And maybe tell her
Why?
some things or why or like what value you get out of it or what. Yeah, there's probably not a lot of talking about those topics in this kind of a setting, I'd imagine.
Yeah, the creative sort of setting, I guess.
Yeah, and it's definitely more than just a Instagram reel.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
So, yep, yuppity yuppers. Yep, that's it.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Hope you had a good year. Hope you got a good year ahead you're thinking about, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Great. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to another episode of Wheel Talk. This podcast is made possible through the contributions of all of our listeners who always ask us great questions, leave us reviews, and contact with us through social media. Thanks to all the fellow makers as well who take time to be interviewed and share about their lives and businesses.
And thank you to Ashley from Boldover Ceramics and Lindy from Lindy Garner Ceramics for their assistance on the Whale Talk Podcast Instagram. You are invaluable. Thank you to everybody.